Woke up this morning like I always do. Fairly typical morning. For some reason, not getting focus on this camera here. What is up with that? That we gotta fix. Hold on, we're gonna fix it right now. Because I can't. Oh, well, that's probably a big part of the problem. That's a big part of the problem right there. This whole thing just came up. But woke up this morning. That's crazy. All right, let's see if that helps. Nope. I made it worse. I don't understand what's happening there. All right, we're just going to keep going. So woke up this morning like I normally do and went downstairs, headphones, water, all the same things I normally do. Just headed into a beautiful week. It's Friday morning, so on and so forth. And I had some, I'm going to have to get used to not clicking on that. I had some crazy dreams, And when I woke up, I just knew, like, you know how you just know? I just knew it was not 3:50 a.m. I just knew it. I'm like, it is not 3:50 a.m. Something is different here. And so sure enough, knowing it was not 3:50 a.m., sure enough, I looked and it was 5:50 a.m. 5:50 a.m., not 3:50 a.m. like I normally get up. It was 5:50 a.m. And the reason for that is this month actually, had finally kind of caught up with me. You see, I'd been traveling a ton here in June, and this past week I was in Colorado. And while I was in Colorado, I was 2 hours behind in the time zone. And so I was doing shows at 3:50 in the morning or 3:30 in the morning instead of 5:30 in the morning. I was getting up at 2:15 in the morning instead of getting up at 3:50 in the morning, and still having to stay up late because I was still having to do the dinners and all the things that I was doing in Colorado. And so this week, from Father's Day through last night, I had only had about 13 hours, or right at 12 hours of sleep for the week. And so it finally caught up with me. And so this morning, I woke up at 3:49, turned my alarms off, and went back to sleep until 5:50 a.m. Like, I have 4 alarms that I set just in case I accidentally sleep through one. I set 4 alarms. 4 alarms. And I turned all them suckers off. Bum, 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 bum. Slept in, turned off all my alarms, and picked up 2 hours of sleep. I picked up 2 hours of sleep, and it was 2 hours that I really, really, really needed. But when I first woke up, of course, I'm like, why me, right? Why me? But immediately after the why me for waking up late, immediately after, I gave myself grace. Immediately after, I was like, bro, no wonder you slept in, dude. You are going freaking hard in the paint this month. Like, I have traveled more this month than I have in years. Like, and slept less this month than I have in years. Not sleeping in my bed. Like, I have been going freaking hard in the paint, working on partnerships, working on deals, serving our members, like everything I could possibly do. And so at first I was like, why me? And then immediately I was like, no, sir. You get grace. You get grace. Somebody will watch the live today that normally doesn't. Somebody will. Somebody will watch today that normally doesn't. And I was like, Glenn, dude, you're a freaking great dude. You're a great dude, Glenn. You're an amazing father, Glenn. You're an incredible husband, Glenn. You're a successful businessman, Glenn. You're a wonderful boss for your people. You're kind. You're generous. You're disciplined in so many ways. So why me? Why did Glenn Lundy have to sleep in? Well, because no matter what any of us say or do or accomplish, we are all human. And in the end, that's the greatest gift that God gave us. Because it's not about being perfection. It's about grace being given, even though we are flawed. Good morning, and welcome to the #1 morning show in America. I am your host, Glenn Lundy, husband to 1, father to 9, author, speaker, and the founder of 800%.life. It's 5:30 a.m., and it's time to rise and grind. Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Friday. That's right, today is Friday, June 26, 2026. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Friday, June 26, 2026. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most, of this absolutely incredible day. Coming to you live from Lexington, Kentucky, where it's storming like crazy out there. All kinds of rain happening. We got all kinds of rain going today. We got all kinds of rain that's supposed to be going tomorrow. But it's nice and warm, and golly, it feels so good to be home. And this week on the show, we've been in a series called Why Me? And because we are live at a different time today than normally we're live at 5:30 a.m. Today we're live at 8 a.m. I need those of you that are on here to do me a favor. Go ahead and tag some of those folks that maybe you've seen on the show before. Go ahead and hit that share button, or tag some people that are never on the show, but you're like, bro, it's 8 a.m. Maybe today's a good time for them to watch. Maybe some people over in California, some people over in Arizona can join us, but I need your help. Those of you that are here, I need your help getting the word out that, hey, we are live at 8 a.m. today. So in this series called Why Me, honestly, I have had the opportunity to reflect on a lot of things in my life. I've gotten a lot of feedback from people like yourself over the week. It seems like this theme has hit even differently than I anticipated and expected. And I think that that's because we touched on something that basically every single human being wrestles with, and it is this question, why me? Why do I have to be the one to carry this load? Why do I have to endure all of this? Why do I have to be the one who makes the sacrifice? Why do I have to lead? Why do I have to suffer? Why do I always have to be the one to take the higher road? Why does it always have to be me? And on Monday, we talked through that, and we realized that sometimes the answer to why me is because it's your responsibility. On Tuesday, we went a little further, and we learned that sometimes the giants in your life that cause these why me moments, they were actually assigned specifically to you to extract the best version of you that you can possibly be. On Wednesday, we learned that many of the lives we're leading today are the result of the choices we've made over time. And yesterday, we talked about how maybe we were born for this exact moment in history. It's not just a why me, but why now? Now, this morning, I woke up late with a different thought. And this is what had been kind of sitting on my heart all week. I've kind of hinted to it just a hair throughout the week. But maybe, just maybe, the answer to why me isn't actually about you at all. Yeah, I'm going to say that one more time, just in case you're like, wait, hold up, back up. What? I was doing a thing. I got distracted. I didn't quite pick up what Glenn just said right there. Maybe why me is actually not about you at all. You're like, well, Glenn, how could why me not be about me? Well, maybe the answer is much simpler Maybe the answer is, why you? Because somebody has to. We're going to dive in on that. Before we do, though, you know what we got to do on this show? You know we got to get our bodies in motion. Let's go. For those of you that know, and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right, I need you to hit that share button, because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you, yes, you, to hit that share button. This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching this show live, or you're watching this show on replay, say what's up, and I'll say what's up back. Heather Parody, my dear friend, hello to you. My mom, hello to you. Kathy Camacho, hello to you. All of those of you that typically watch on replay. And for those of you that are here live this morning, good morning, Sarah Green. Thank you so much for being here with us. Trian Top is in the building. Thanks for being here, Trian. Robin Wilshans is up in here. How you doing, Robin Wilshans? Thanks for being in the building. Linnell Burns is in the building today. Thank you for being here, Linnell. And Linnell has tagged Greg Becker, Ramon Ray, Trisha Rue, Christina Howard, Pastor Jeff, Tosh Queen, Jeannie Snyder. I know who your friends are, Linnell. I know what rooms you be hanging out with, or hanging out in. Mr. Michael Mills in the building. She also tagged Malika Star Carey. Judy Tebow. What's up, Judy Tebow? Thank you for being here this morning as well. Listen, I appreciate you guys allowing me a little bit of grace this morning. All this traveling and Colorado finally caught up to me. And I got a little bit of extra sleep. And sometimes with this show being as demanding as it is, a live, fully produced show at 5:30 a.m. Monday through Friday for the last 8 years, sometimes it's like, why me, bro? Why me? But after going through this, and come to the realization that the why me is actually not about you at all in most cases. It's more about somebody has to. Like, I want you to think about it, man. When a family is broken, somebody in that family has to be the first one to heal it. If a business is failing, somebody has to step up to get it turned around. When a marriage is struggling, somebody has to initiate that really, really, really hard conversation. And when a child needs guidance, somebody has to become the example. When a community is divided, somebody has to build the bridge. Somebody has to be the one. And when a culture is losing its way, somebody has to stand up and tell the truth. You see, the question has never been whether or not somebody has to do it. The question has always been, who is going to do it? Like, let's go back to David. We talked about David and Goliath earlier in the week. Let's go back to David one last time. I want you to imagine being David for just a minute. You see, everybody remembers the giant, but nobody really talks about the silence. You see, there were thousands of soldiers on the battlefield. Thousands. And every single one of those soldiers on the battlefield was waiting for someone else. Someone else should do it. They were looking around at each other going, you going to do it? No. You going to do it? You going to go down there? Bro, I ain't going down there. That dude's crazy. He's been down there for 40 days talking trash. Anybody that's gotten close to him gets destroyed. Someone should do it. But it ain't going to be me. Someone else should do it. Someone else should step up. Someone else should take the risk. Someone else should carry the burden. And then out of nowhere, this little shepherd boy by the name of David walks onto the battlefield and he asks a different question. He doesn't ask, why me? But essentially, he just makes a statement. Okay, if nobody else is going to do it, then I will. And that one single decision, if nobody else is going to do it, then I will. That's the decision that changed history forever. You see, you got to understand, me being who I am, Glenn Lundy, I've asked why me more times than a human being can count. When I was homeless, I was always like, why me? Why's it got to be me in the street? Why everybody else gets to be over there? When I was getting arrested, it's like, why me? I know my homeboys, they be getting away with stuff. They never get arrested. Why I got to be the one that gets arrested? Why me? Every time I was broken or beat down or broke or whatever, it was like, why me? Why me? Why me? Why me? And then guess what? I had to be the one to rebuild everything. Like I kept asking this why me question. Like why me? When I had to become the guy that gets up at 5:30 in the morning every single day, whether I feel like it or not. And even in moments like today where I run a little late, sometimes if I'm being honest, I'll still ask like, there's just some mornings where I think like, why do I have to carry this? Why do I have to be the one? And then I remember something. I remember that somebody has to. Somebody has to wake up and create space to encourage people. Somebody has to show up and get these white folks. That's right. Somebody's got to show up and get these white folks dancing in the morning. I'm just saying. Somebody's got to take the lead. If I don't show up here and do it, white folks are not dancing all around the world. And when white folks are not dancing all around the world is a terrible place. Like, we need these white folks dancing. I'm telling you. It's now, obviously, my brothers, my sisters, we be dancing all the time anyway. But somebody's got to keep doing it, man, even though it's hard. And if it's not going to be me, if I'm not going to do it, then who's going to do it, man? I think one of the greatest lies that you and I have ever believed, one of the greatest lies that humanity has ever believed, is that somebody else is coming to take care of it. Somebody else is going to fix the marriage. Somebody else will raise the children the right way. Somebody else will solve the problem. Somebody else will save the business. Somebody else will heal the division in the world. Somebody else will build the future. But what if there is no somebody else? What if the reason you see the problem is because you're supposed to become the solution? What if the reason your heart breaks for it is because you are called to do something about it? I remember how I felt when I first started this show. I'll never forget it. I remember Colin Kaepernick taking a knee in the world, like going crazy. I remember going into my social media feeds and so much negativity and so much division. And it was awful. And I remember it was literally creating a pain in my gut. Like, oh my gosh, this is awful. And then my next thought was, well, I can't do anything about it. I can't change the world. Somebody else, but not me. Somebody needs to do it, but not me. And then luckily my brain is trained enough to say, well, look, maybe we can't solve the problem completely, but we can create a space A space filled with motivation, education, and inspiration. A little tiny sliver of the internet where there won't be any division, where there won't be any politics, where we will bring people together, equip them with the tools they need to succeed, and inspire them to be great. We can create that. And nobody else is coming to do it. Earlier in the week, I talked about Esther in the Bible and the verse where Mordecai asks Esther one of the most profound questions ever recorded. Mordecai says, "Who knows whether you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this?" What's up, Emer? For such a time as this. Not another time, not another place, this one. And can we like be friends here? Can I tell you something? Like, God didn't ask Esther if she felt ready, and God's not asking you if you feel ready. God didn't ask Esther if she was comfortable with the destiny he had placed on her. He didn't ask Esther if she would prefer somebody else besides her to do it. Because somebody had to, and it had to be her. And maybe that's why you're here. Maybe that's why you're the parent. Maybe that's why you're the leader. Maybe that's why you're the entrepreneur. What's up, Justin? Maybe that's why you're the teacher. Maybe that's why you are the coach. Maybe that's why you're the one carrying whatever it is that you're carrying, not because you're being punished, but like it's not because you're being punished. It's not because you're unlucky. It's not because God forgot about you. It's because somebody had to. And maybe, just maybe, God actually trusted you enough to ask you to do it. Those are big words, bro. God trusts you enough for you to experience all that you're experiencing. So listen, after 5 days in this series of Why Me, after all of the questions that we've asked, after all of the struggle, after all of the wrestling with it mentally and physically, I think I finally found the overarching answer to why me. And the answer to why me is because somebody has to. The answer to why you is because you have to. Because you have to understand, if it's not you, then who? And if not now, then when? So today, I want you to stop asking yourself why you're carrying the assignment and start asking yourself how you're going to fulfill the assignment. Because, see, you were created on purpose, for purpose, with a purpose, and you perhaps have the greatest honor in life. You see, the honor that you carry is that when the world needed someone, God looked at you and said, yeah, I think they can handle it. God looked at you and said, hey, no one else can, so I need you to be the one. God looked at you and he said, I'm going to allow you to experience the things you need to experience to become the best version of yourself you can possibly be, because I trust you with other people's future. You understand that? You live your life to a certain standard so that you can be trusted to impact others, because why me is not about you. Why me has never been about you. You see, in life, we have a born-on date and we have an expiration date, and that little dash in the middle, what is the meaning of life? The meaning of life is ultimately what impact can your life have on others? So why me? Why do I have to go through this tragedy? Why me? Why do I have to go through this season? Why me? Well, because God trusts you. That's why. God trusts you. He trusts you to take this season. He trusts you to take this time. He trusts you to take all of the lessons that you learn through the anguish, through the pain, through the hurt, through the tears. He trusts you with it. He honors you with it because nobody else could. But somebody has to. And ultimately, the experience, the wisdom, all of the things that you pick up through these seasons and these challenges and these why me moments, all of it, ultimately, in God's great divine plan, will ultimately be used to serve not you, not just you, but others. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Glenn, and I'm your friend, and I absolutely stinking love you. I do. I absolutely stinking love you. I appreciate your grace. As today's episode, we went live at 8 a.m. instead of 5:30 a.m. All of the travel of this month caught up with me. I got an extra 2 hours of sleep. I ain't going to sit here and BS you. That alarm went off, and I turned all of them off. But you know what? I'm human, bro. And I'm a good guy. And you, my friend, you're human. And you're a great guy. You're human. You're an incredible woman. Incredible. And you know how I know? Because God chose you. God chose you to carry the burdens. God chose you for this season, for this time. God chose you. So listen, brother. Listen, sister. I love you. I do. I love you. If nobody's told you yet today, I want to be the first. I absolutely stinking love you. So let's not ask why me, or when the why me comes up, just remind yourself, because someone has to, and God chose you. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back Monday morning, 5:30 a.m. We'll do it all over again right here on #Rise. Have a good day.
You're not so far away. I saw you not so long ago. Was it just yesterday? Got that old feeling that I know. In the dark of the night, I'll be alright. The sun will